Hey guys, this is Natasha Chandel here at the 12th Annual IFFLA, also known as the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles. The festival in the past has screened hits like Slumdog Millionaire, and this year we'll be screening over 33 films, including Jeffrey D. Brown's Sold and Rishi Mehta's ravely reviewed Siddharth. Tonight's going to be a star-studded night, so let's get straight into it. I remember you not knowing how anybody would receive it to now being at a place where everyone is just screaming the rave reviews for Siddharth. How does it feel?
See, you were in a privileged position because you got to see me worrying before we ever showed it. Yeah, I mean, look, you obviously you're never sure how an audience is going to react. After showing it several times, you start to see the patterns. And we have seen the patterns; it's been very positive. So this is probably the most relaxed I've ever been coming to a festival. I think one thing I've recently become fascinated with is trying to explore the nature of what a real man is, which is, I think, a relevant issue. And in fact, we talk about it in Siddharth. And so I think I'm using characters who, on the outset, can be considered as not real men at all. And then I try to explore, well, what makes a real man through these characters. Because I think when you see somebody who's uber wealthy in a movie, we immediately say, oh, you've been given privilege, so you're working on a sense of entitlement. And then you see somebody who's a laborer, you look at it very differently. So I think it's easier for us to explore what that phenomenon actually is. And that's really important to me. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm so far from it. But it definitely will actually continue as a theme through my work.
But now I also heard that Siddharth has distribution as well, right? So when are we going to see it in big box office theaters around the country?
It opens June 27th in New York, and then I believe July 11th in LA.
It's a portrait of a 12-year-old boy who's trying to win a boxing medal for India, and he trains at this small, very rural gym. And it's a portrait of him, but also about the other boys at the gym, and a girl who's also trying to participate in the Olympics. But I think what it speaks to is just the lower middle class in India in general, because most of the people in the gym are not, wealthy people. They're sons of laborers and farmers. So you get a real insight, I think, into a whole group of people in India. It was such a surprising story for me to see, all these kids, instead of just being focused on their kids, just obsessed with boxing. They're slept, dreamt boxing. And in typical Indian town, it'd be math or physics tuition or something like that. And the town had just been electrified by Vijender's medal at the Beijing Olympics and what it had done for him. To me, it was a really surprising story, not something you typically find in the context of sports in India. Because in India, there's really only one sport, which is cricket. So it was also refreshing to see something else take up people's imagination.
It's called The Auction House, A Tale of Two Brothers, and it's about two brothers trying to save their family business, which is the oldest auction house in India. It's a documentary.
And it has something to do with technology as well, right? There's a kind of digital aspect.
Well, they're trying to embrace 21st century technology, but failing miraculously. So they're still in the age of typewriters when everyone else is using eBay and that sort of thing. And that's kind of the struggle they're up against. One brother comes from London, representing the 21st century, and the other brothers were a bit stuck in the past in Calcutta.
How long did this take?
Much longer than I thought. It was a real labour of love. It's about 4 years from when I started till now. Just about 2.5 years of filming and then a year in post-production, going back a bit. Lots of it down to money and stuff like that, but also just following two characters over time and seeing brothers grow together takes years, not weeks. Probably what they found was a reluctance to move outside their circles. They were sort of ensconced in this comfortable way of life in Calcutta society, and unless you start mixing with the right people and the youngsters, then I think you're never going to get there. They did do something with some up-and-coming fashionistas, which was going the right direction, but not the internet.
It's growing tremendously. From the first time I came here to, the carpet was smaller, now it's becoming bigger. It's going in, from that to the attendees, yeah, everything is growing. I like the movies they get here. I like the people they get here. They're my friends from back home. It's a good platform for me to revive and also to announce some announcements that I have to make.
Can you tell some of our viewers a bit about your film?
Yeah, it's our film is called Brahmin Bulls, and it's an independent American film. It stars Sendhil Ramamurthy, Roshan Seth, Mary Steenburgen, and Justin Bartha. And it's a story about fathers and sons, the women in their lives, and I guess the secrets that they keep. It really stemmed from my relationship with my own father and sort of where I see him now, it's about sort of realizing that your parents were once individuals before they were your parents, and that they had a life before you. Yeah.
There's just such a wonderful, warm sort of romance between the older characters in the film, and I think that's something that's really special about it. And one of my favorite things about it, it's something I don't think we see enough of in movies. Where older characters, even though Roshan is playing the father in the movie, it's not just that he's the father. He's also a whole person that has his own interests and his own sort of regrets and his own romantic interest in the movie. So I think that's really what's kind of special about it for me.
I will say that we have something for everyone. So it depends on who I'm talking to. I would be giving different tips. But since we're here on opening night, we try to schedule to bookend the festival with the two films that we think will have the widest appeal. And so in addition to tonight's film, Jadoo, the closing night film, completely different, is a delightful story, a very British humorous culinary story. So I would definitely recommend people to check that out.
What's your dream for IFFLA?
My dream for IFFLA, I would love to see IFFLA getting to the point where it can also help filmmakers receive a scholarship, receive the grant to help them finish their film, distribute it. Just really being an institution that can help create content. We've done it to a certain level unofficially. I would like that to be official.
I feel like you're the kind of actor that is always working, and what's the secret? I don't understand.
You have to create your own stuff. I'm always working because I'm always producing me. In this day and age, you have to be a little bit of an auteur. You gotta go out and hustle and make your own work and make your own opportunities. But I actually preach that for young people too. I think that is the nature of the business now, and opportunities are everywhere. We have talented young actors and filmmakers and writers making their movies on iPhones at this point. So the world is everyone's oyster, and it's cool.
So you just actually reunited with Jerry in Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Kinda, sort of. It was George and not Jason, but yes. Yeah.
Exactly. How did that feel, kind of jumping back in the skin of George?
Very strange. Yes. George should never be 54 years old. George should have left the playing field at 40, and that's how probably we should have left it.
So curious, was that scripted or was that like you made?
Yeah, no, that was all scripted by Jerry and Larry, yeah.
And now how do you feel about being here tonight?
Great. Supporting my friend Jeff Brown, fantastic. This is a huge labor for him. This has been 7 years in the making, and I can't wait to see what he's done.
Why did you want to get involved in this project?
Well, Jeffrey came to me with such an important project and such important subject matter, and it's a beautiful script, and he's an incredible filmmaker, and I said I'll do anything to help you get it made.
And it took you 7 years, right, to make this film?
It's been 7 years since we began. This film, making this film broke my heart. I met like 2,000 survivors of the sex trade. We did a lot of in-depth research, and we're going to use this film to not only create global awareness, but also to really shine a light on the issue and help the kids that we met.
Emotionally, what was the hardest part, like while making a film like
that? Seeing a kid who'd just been rescued, they have to be on watch for 3 months because they try to run or cut themselves or commit suicide. But what was extraordinary was all the older kids would kind of help them and let them learn to trust people again. They would really, like sisters, surround them as deities and give them clothing and love and support, and that was amazing to watch. Well, I think India is kicking butt right now. There are a lot of great, amazing filmmakers coming out of India. Anurag Kashyap, Amir Khan. There's some amazing talent in India, not just directors, but actors. And, I think more and more this bridge that IFFLA is building between Hollywood and Bollywood, it's going to get stronger and stronger, and there'll be more traffic both ways.
Well, that does it for us from the opening night of the 12th annual IFFLA. Thanks for watching. Tune in to urbanasian.com.
Hi, I'm Rishi Mehta, and you're watching Urban Asian.
Hi, Jason Alexander, you're watching Urban Asian. It says so on the microphone.
Hey, it's David Arquette and Jeffrey Brown, and you're watching Urban Asia.